Taylor from Daytime here. Now, my second time recording this. First time, my hair was a mess, even though I just brushed it because I'm starting to grow out what usually gets cut. It's a weekly recap. I know Mr. Robot is season 4, episode 6, and Walking Dead is season 10, episode 6, because they started the same week, same night, same time. Gertie has stolen the paper that I tried to attempt to write everything on. So I don't have episode numbers titles. Sorry. It's also getting really cold here in my part of the country. Look at that horrible, horrible dry face. Oi. Any to the who. This week was intense. So let's get going. For starters, Prodigal Son. This was a big episode. Ainsley finally got the Dr. Whitley interview. Malcolm was there because he was figuring out part of another case with the junkyard where the station wagon was, and he saw somebody there and that person shot at him, and it was like all chaos until he went to the interview. And as we all know, Ainsley's cameraman is her cameraman with benefits boyfriend. I don't know how we would say that yet. And basically what happened was that this other inmate went absolutely what's the word I'm looking for? Possessive, obsessed. I don't know what the word I'm looking for, but he saw Ainsley and he wanted an interview. And it turns out it helped with another case that Malcolm was working on, but said inmate stabbed and killed a guard, took his card, and caused chaos. Also stabbing the cameraman and everybody else. Not everybody else, but causing chaos with everybody else. But Dr. Whitley had to save the cameraman. Malcolm discovers that his father was behind it. He then calls his father's guard, only to find out that his father has already been moved, that they figured out what it was, that his father was behind it. And then him and his mom are in mom's house. They hear a phone call coming from the basement from his father's old area office thing. Everything was thought to be disconnected. They go in, he answers the phone, it's a person from the junkyard. Absolute insanity. Leading into other insanity, a completely different one. This Is Us had a really tense dual dinner thing in the past and the present. This was mainly focusing on Randall. I will say this, I think Annie got some of her great one-liner capabilities from her Uncle Kevin. But basically in the past, it was Jack invited Randall's teacher, Mr. Lawrence, over just to have him there, and because there was a little bit of conflict there. And Randall and Beth had Malik and his daughter and his parents over after Deja and Malik skipped school. Now, some of my family's from the Philadelphia area, so it was very awesome to see parts of Philadelphia. I was very happy that the boathouses were a huge part of the episode. Still haven't been to the Magic Gardens. I need to get on that. But basically, Malik and Deja skipped school, and that was their first date. They had their first kiss, but Deja's like really afraid because she really likes him, but with the baby and all. And Beth and her mom have a really intense conversation. Beth hides wine in the pantry. Tess is like, oh, and a baby, and Randall's like, not yet. I'm done. No. And basically, as the parents are having an argument, it is brought up that Malik's father has some sort of past. Omar Epps did a brilliant job in this episode. Basically had probably the most grounded part of the conversation. And in the end, it was deemed that Deja can go on supervised dates with Malik. Some adult has to be home no matter which house they're at. Some adult has to be home. It's also proven that Malik does take care of his baby really, really well, and that it was Deja who's been lying to Beth and Randall about her going out to the movies with Malik and all this stuff. So, in the past, it was Jack coming to terms with Mr. Lawrence being another hero for Randall, and just in a different way. And I really liked that they had this connection. I still believe in a theory that I thought was far-fetched until the This Is Us writers, shout out to them, tweeted me back saying it's not, that Malik and Mr. Lawrence are connected somehow. So I do believe that's going to come to light. I believe tonight's episode is focused on Nikki in some capacity. I have not watched last night's Prodigal Son. We are in last week's stuff. So, yeah. Then comes young Sheldon. Now, this is obviously the least intense. It's a comedy. However, basically what it revolves around is Missy really wants to be a part of the baseball team, and Craig T. Nelson in a new recurring guest role. Recurring role, not a recurring guest role. I think last week he was a guest, now he's recurring. She wants to audition for the baseball team, and he won't let her. And this was after she kept dunking the pastor at this carnival really well. And then after Mima drags her down there to yell at the coach, not only does Mima get a date with the coach, but Missy makes the team. And Georgie is trying to make sure Veronica's okay and keeps getting dragged into all these weird situations. I really like that it was focused on the other Cooper kids this week and not Sheldon so much. However, I am wondering where this is going to lead to. So yeah. Next is Next is Mr. Robot. First off, we have another commercial for you, Mr. Robot. Second off, I am aware that Doctor Who has an announcement coming. We'll figure that out later. Basically, what happened with Mr. Robot was, I'll separate it into the two Alderson siblings. Dom found Darlene, knocked her into a bathtub. Told Janice she had her, knocked her into the bathtub. Chaos ensued. Then she was like, you gotta kill me, and Janice shows up. That was Dom saying to Darlene, you gotta kill me. Elliot reveals, Mr. Robot really wasn't in this episode. Elliot reveals to Olivia that he hacked her and that she's using again, and she tries to commit suicide, but Elliot saves her, makes her do what she has to do for everything, and that is that all while Vera is kidnapped in her own home and interrogating Krista, and next week looks intense because I have a feeling Elliot is gonna not work out so well with saving Krista. So I'm really intrigued to see where that's gonna go. And last but not least, The Walking Dead. So I have to praise the 5 main performers of this episode: Norman, Melissa, Avi, Ryan, JDM. They were the main 5 you saw in this episode. There is a theory that I'm going to make another video about. Haha. And also I have to credit Josh McDermott for having a really hard job because he had to act pretty much to a voice. Her name just escaped me. I know it's Margot something. But he made contact with somebody and is starting to gain their trust. That is his chunk of the episode. The other 3 chunks are Sadiq is going through some severe PTSD while all of Alexandria is getting sick. Now, I personally think it has something to do with the water that Gamma has been fainting. However, on The Talking Dead, Jamie King and Sinbad was on that one, that they were tainting the water with Gamma. Jamie King said, I wonder if Sadiq accidentally did something in one of his PTSD blackouts, because we found out through his PTSD blackouts that he will go sleepwalking, and he wound up with Coco on top of the windmill. There's some intense stuff going on. And the scene they showed was Sadiq going insane. Not insane, I shouldn't say that. Sadiq going, my apologies for that. Sadiq going deeper into his, I don't know what the word would be for that. His trauma, maybe? That would be the word. Then Daryl and Carol are going to... Daryl follows Carol out because she said she's going to do something when really she's following the herd. And I'm not going to lie, Daryl looked really scared when he had to cover himself in blood. That was great on Norman's part. But basically, he's trying to figure out what Carol's doing. She kidnapped a Whisperer, all this stuff. And obviously, she also was like, so what's up with Connie? Carol also ships Donnie. But there is something definitely going on there. Then Negan is, you could tell he's trying to infiltrate the camp, and I really hope we get the comic thing, like him and Carol combining for the comics. Annoying the hell out of Beta. Really funny stuff too tonight. And he ends up, because Beta's like, I'm gonna leave you in this thing of walkers. Negan creates makeshift. Lucille gets out, comes back, and kneels down to Alpha and is like, hey. So that's where we're at. It was intense. Let me know what you guys think is going to happen down in the comments down below. Look out for my theory video. And have a good one, guys.